Now join me for a quick demo of TMS, the most powerful management suite in the industry. So there's lots of ways through TMS that you can schedule and book a meeting, but we have Microsoft Outlook, we have Lotus Notes, and any other kind of organization out there that has used our open API to integrate their scheduler with ours. But here I'm in the Tandberg Management Suite kind of main page, and I'm going to use the interface here to schedule a meeting. So first in the basic settings, so here I'm going to select and type in the meeting title. It's Mike's Q4 meeting. And then right underneath, I have the capability to select if I want this meeting to automatically connect, meaning that TMS will initiate calls out to all the participants, or if I want the participants to be able to call in manually. I think I prefer them to be able to call in themselves. Okay, now I want to pick the meeting date and time. So I go into the calendar here. I want to select Tuesday the 20th of October. And that's done, and the meeting will be at 2 o'clock. And I would like it to go to 3, which gives us a duration of an hour. Okay, so moving over, and you can see over here I have the option if I want to set recurrence. This is a one-time meeting, so I'm not going to do that, but I do have the option to set it to be weekly, monthly, or every so many days. So moving on, over in the advanced settings, I have the capability to set more of the technical details of the conference. First, in picture mode, I can kind of pick between continuous presence, voice switch, or enhanced continuous presence, which means how the multi-site is going to look on the conference. With continuous presence, enhanced continuous presence, it means I'm going to get the best results and have everybody up at the same time, kind of like Hollywood Squares. IP bandwidth allows me to set how much bandwidth each user takes. 384 here is fine. Same with bandwidth for the ISDN caller. We don't have any on this call, but if we did, we could set the ISDN bandwidth for those users as well. And then, of course, security is always a concern with a lot of our customers, and it gives us the option here to select absolute security, I don't want it, or if possible. So we'll stay with if possible here for our conference. Okay, so most importantly, I want to make sure all of this gets recorded and is recorded on the Tandberg content server. So to the far right here, I have the option right here in recording to go ahead and select I want this to be recorded. And what that will do, it will reserve my spot on the Tandberg content server and ensure that this conference is recorded. Finally, I get to select the participants I want to add. So I simply do this by hitting this button, Add Participants, and then a new window will pop up. So first I want to select the conference room, because I do want to have this meeting in a conference room. I go to, this is kind of my last used tab here, so a lot of the conference rooms I've chosen in the past. So I'm going to pick from here. And I see based on the time schedule here that Reston Franklin is available when our meeting is happening, because that's shown right here with the green and the red, start, finish. So I'm simply going to say OK, and now we've added Reston Franklin. So next, after we've selected our conference room, you may or may not want to have a multi-point control unit or an MCU, but I've gone to the MCU tab and it shows the different options I have here within the MCUs. So I'm going to select North America Codian 1. That's our MCU. It looks like it's reserved here, but since it's an MCU, that just means that somebody somewhere has reserved a port on it and it's showing that it's taken, but TMS is smart and it'll tell us if it doesn't have enough ports for our conference. So I'm going to go ahead and reserve it now, and I'm going to hit OK. So the final piece of the puzzle is making sure I have enough ports on the multi-point control unit, or the MCU. And I have two choices. I can go through and I can pick everyone's name out of the directory, which is certainly a viable option, or I can set up just a number of users I know that are going to call into this meeting. So my meeting's for 5 people. Here I'm going to set up a dial-in call into the MCU. It's going to be IP, and it's all going to be video. And I'd like to set up for 5, so just in case, I'm going to go ahead and reserve 7 external users in case someone else decides to call in or we invite someone last second. And then I simply hit OK again. So there are all the elements. I've gone ahead and I've reserved the room. I've made sure that we're recording it. I've reserved the MCU. And I got 7 ports on the MCU for external users. So the last step, I can do kind of a final check here. And then I want to save the conference. So I hit Save. And I get a confirmation page here. And momentarily in my email box, in my inbox, I'll receive a notification for TMS confirming all of these details. And I'll be able to take that information and send it on to all of my attendees in the meeting. And there you have it. With TMS, it's as easy as that.